This little guy is Murphy. You don't see it, but he's at my feet during most videos. He goes pretty much everywhere I go, and he loves his treats. You hear that? Treats? So today, in honor of our little four-legged buddies here, we're gonna make dog treats, homemade dog treats. They're easier to make than you think, and you probably have all the ingredients in your pantry. Good boy. We're gonna make Murphy's 3 favorite treats. We're gonna do a pumpkin peanut butter smaller biscuit. We're gonna do a traditional dog bone, and we're also gonna do, for all you hot dogs out there, a little frosty treat that we can have in the summertime, right? Now, these are treats. They're like Oreos for us. They should be consumed in moderation. Don't overdo it with these guys. If you have any concerns about possible allergies, consult your veterinarian. So before we start, a quick comment on peanut butter. Check the ingredients. Make sure it doesn't contain something called xylitol. It's not good for dogs, okay? So step 1, check the ingredients of the peanut butter, no xylitol. That out of the way, let's make some treats. We're gonna make peanut butter pumpkin dog treats. I love making these because it makes the house smell delicious. The house smells like a pumpkin pie is being baked. We're gonna start with 2/3 a cup of pureed pumpkin. It's the same stuff you'll make a pumpkin pie with. All right, next we're gonna take 1/4 cup of peanut butter. We have 2 large eggs. Make sure they're large eggs. All right, so let's get this whipped together really well. We're gonna blend these ingredients before we start adding our flour in. Okay, so we have 2½ cups of whole wheat flour. Now make sure you're working with whole wheat flour. Of the 2½ cups, I'm gonna put like 1/3 of that in at a time because this dough gets really thick and I'm gonna hand mix it. It's a workout. If you have a mixer, put the paddle attachment on and go to town. Otherwise, you can come with me and we're gonna mix it with a spoon. Now you're gonna notice that the dough starts to get sticky, but the more flour we add into it, the less stickier it's gonna get. About 1/3 more. I promise you all this flour is gonna make it into the dough. It may not look like it, but it will. You just got to keep working it in. All right, last little bit of flour is going in. This is where the workout comes. Man, my arm is killing me. This is when I wish I'd used the mixer. But we are going to get to a point where we're going to put our spoon down and we're going to put our fingers in here and we're going to start trying to form a dough ball. See, now it's coming together. All right, so I've got a little dough ball going here. Before we roll this out, we're going to knead it a bit, about 3-4 times. All right, so I'm gonna get my rolling pin, I'm gonna flour my countertop, and we're gonna roll this dough out. I like making these treats about 1/4 inch thick. You can make them as thick as you want. I also have dog bone cookie cutters, so we'll make them super cute. All right, we have our ball of dough. We're gonna flour our surface here a little bit. Then we're gonna roll these out to about 1/4 inch thick. It's actually a very pretty dough. Pumpkin gives it a beautiful color. Orange makes me think of fall. All right, so we're working on that 1/4 inch thickness. You can make these as thick as you want. You make them as thick as your dog prefers. All right, so I get these dog bone cookie cutters on Amazon. They're great. I mean, there's a small one all the way up to a big one. I use on the smaller side for Murphy, not the smallest one, but one up. I think it makes a perfect size biscuit for him. This size biscuit, 1/4 inch thick, I can usually get about 2 dozen out of this batch. All right, I'm gonna put my cutouts on a cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper. How great does that look? All right, so the oven's at 350. We're gonna put our peanut butter pumpkin treats in for about 20 minutes. It depends on how thick you made your cutouts. If you have larger bone cutouts or thicker cutouts, it may take more or less time. But for me, these size at 350, it takes about 20 minutes. Next up, we're making a frozen treat for the dogs. Only 2 ingredients. We're gonna use peanut butter and we're gonna use vanilla yogurt. These are in the freezer. They're perfect for the dog days of summer. 32 ounces of vanilla yogurt. All right, ingredient number 2 of 2 is peanut butter. We want to melt our peanut butter. The way to do that is in a microwave, in a microwave-safe bowl, for about 30 seconds. And all we're gonna do is combine the melted peanut butter with our yogurt. All right, you wanna mix well. You keep mixing these two together until they're thoroughly combined. All right, so this is blended pretty well. Now we have to put this mixture into cupcake papers. I'm gonna put it into a large measuring cup. It just helps me pour a little bit. Otherwise, I'll make a huge mess. It's peanut butter and yogurt. It's delicious. Depending on the size of your dog, make these as small or as large as you want. All right, so our cupcake papers are full. We're gonna pop these into the freezer for a couple of hours so they're nice and frozen. And then maybe we'll let Murphy enjoy one. You should see he's been waiting very patiently down here. I think he deserves one. We're gonna make more of a traditional dog biscuit now. There's only 4 ingredients. We're gonna give it a meat flavor using our low sodium chicken broth. We're gonna start with 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. Then we're gonna add that 1/2 cup of low sodium chicken broth. Get these two combined really well. We can drop in our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna add in 1 extra large egg. All right, keep mixing until we start making a dough. eventually we're gonna have to take our hands and get them dirty too. All right, let's see if we can't start forming a little dough ball here. I've got most of the flour incorporated into my dough here. Now remember, this is the dog biscuit. It's dry, so this dough, it's pretty dry. Okay, let's work with this. Let's try to knead it a bit, maybe 3 times, 3-4 times. All right, so let's break out our rolling pin again and start cutting some cookies, some bones. All right, so let's slightly flour our surface. We got our dough here. Now, with the traditional dog bone, I like to make them a little larger, so I use a larger bone cutout, and I also roll them out thicker. I do about a 1/2 inch thick with these guys. All right, about a 1/2 inch thick. Let's see how many we can get out of this first round. These look so great. They look like traditional dog bones. So let's grab a baking sheet. Let's line it with parchment paper. And we'll put our little bone cutouts on it. Okay, our traditional dog bones are ready to go in the oven. The oven's at 350. These stay in for about 25 to 30 minutes. It depends on how big you made your cutouts, how thick your cutouts are. Mine usually take about 25 minutes. And remember, the longer you cook them, the crispier they'll eventually be, okay? Murphy loves his treats, right? Can you sit? Good boy. Yeah. All right. Lay. Good boy. He's a show off. All right. How about one more? Can you roll over? Oh, there it goes. Good boy. Good boy. So keep your treats in an airtight container in the freezer. You can take them out. They'll thaw 10 to 20 minutes. But you don't want them to mold, so be sure to keep them in the freezer. If you like these recipes, and if you enjoyed meeting Murphy, click the thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel.